Hello, I'm Brad Kelly, and you're listening to Method and Madness. This is a show about books, the people who write them, and the labyrinth to be explored between the words.
Have you ever heard about Willie the Weeper? Had a job as a chimney sweeper. He had the dope habit and he had his band. Listen while I tell you about a dream he had.
Scott Laudati is the real deal from that strain of American poetry that produced writers like Charles Bukowski and Philip Levine and Gregory Corso and so many others. He's also written an excellent novel, Play the Devil, which he and I talked about last year on this program. He is also a painter whose psychedelic artwork lives at the intersection of nostalgic humor, conspiracy theory, and the surrealism of the dream, with an upcoming solo show in Bell, Missouri, starting in August of this year. He's also a modern-day nomad traveling the country, finding the magic and the story of forgotten towns, stages upon which to read his poetry, and an ever closer and truer look at this strange country we call America. You can find videos documenting Scott's travels on his YouTube channel. All will be linked. Today, mostly, we're here to talk about his latest collection of poetry, Rainbow Road. He's also brought a guest with him for those on YouTube. Who I see this picture of. What's your dog's name again?
This is Josie.
Josie.
Yeah, I brought her in because usually when I do these, she ends up scratching at the door.
Sure. Yeah.
So she'll want to leave
sweetheart.
in 2 seconds, but she's a good dog. She's a good dog.
She's got to see what's going on. They got to know. They have to know what's going on. We've got two dogs. They mostly leave me alone while I'm doing this, but we got 2 dogs in there.
Yeah.
My wife had them when we got together, and they've become. I've taken them basically. I take care of them, take them for walks and everything. It's so funny. Yeah, they're awesome though. So Rainbow Road, I love this thing. It's so cool to have a new piece of Scott Laudati work. The cover is great. If people can't see, you'll see it around, but beautiful pink. I guess first off, we were talking a little bit backstage and we decided to save it a little bit. Is this still in pre-order or can people just buy this thing?
All right. So this was never actually in pre-order. I've seen so many people mess this up where it's like, oh, my book's out on Thursday, and then Wednesday night, I don't know, so they try and publish it, but then the cover specs are wrong or whatever, and I wanted to order a ton of author copies so I can have it by the time I have my release show this Thursday, the 25th. So the thing's been live on Amazon for a month because I wanted to work all the kinks out, and I've just been calling it a pre-order, even though it's like everybody who's ordered the pre-order has gotten the book in 3 days. So people have been getting this book for a month, but I just keep selling it as the pre-order.
That's clever, man.
Yeah. Well, it's, even I have friends who are on bigger indie presses, and it's the same thing. They can't get their author copies in time for their show or whatever. So I wanted to work all those kinks out, and it worked. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's the voice of experience right there, man. It's like stuff's gonna probably go wrong or not go exactly right, and just try to get ahead of it for sure. Because it's. I mean, you're doing. I assume you're doing Amazon self-publishing. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm familiar with that too. They're pretty good at handling stuff, but I'll tell you what, I bought. I put a picture of this online, and I bought a bunch of author copies. And the first shipment, I got lucky because they sent it to the wrong address, and they gave me my money back. But then it was just the guy across the street had them. They sent them across the street for me, so I ended up getting all the books and not paying for them.
Okay.
But then so I got 50 books for free, which was pretty sweet. And then I bought a few more, another box of 10 or something, and they just threw them loosely in a box. So they showed up, and the covers are all out of whack and creased. And I was like, well, I guess you win some, you lose some.
Dude, I'm having that same problem now. I ordered 50 copies a month ago. I've already done 3 readings. They take forever. So I got those copies. So I ordered those 2 months ago. I've already done 3 readings with these books. I've left them at I just did a reading at Rough Trade up in New York. They wanted a bunch of copies. So then I ordered 50 more right away because I was like, oh my God, I need more than 50 copies for my release show. And then they don't arrive. And then one arrived. So I ordered 50 copies. One arrived, single package. And then I got an email that the other 49 are delayed. And now I might not get them before my release show.
that's-
So I might have like 30,
that-
30 copies at my release show. I don't know.
That's a bummer. Why would they send you? I don't understand. Somebody needs to do like an inside, like a documentary or how it works on how the Amazon POD system works, because it is baffling to me.
Totally.
Like, why would they send you one? What kind of sense does that make?
I don't know, because then I was like, who ordered this one? Like, to my house. Yeah, it was me. But, going back to what you just, like, you were like, oh, did you self-publish it on Amazon? I feel like there was a stigma about that not too long ago, but now every single book I pick up, even the presses who, like, pretend that they somehow have, like, a printing press in their basement, maybe? I don't know.
Right.
Every single book that's not from Simon & Schuster has either that Amazon, like, made in Delaware or, like, made in South Carolina, or the Ingram logo on the back page. I was, like, in a bookstore the other day looking through all of them. I'm like, everybody is just doing this print on demand, and everybody's pretending they're not doing it.
Right. Yeah, well, it's kind of cool. Like, I like a nice, like, the guys from Farthest Heaven, I don't know what their process is, but they put out a nice physical copy. It's not print on demand, and they're beautiful, right? But the print on demand thing is like leveled the playing field. I have no shame about it anymore. I had reticence about it like when I first started doing it, but like, I don't know, man, it gets out there. It's easy to buy. It flies around. I mean, I don't really see the downside anymore of it.
I don't either. It's crazy to me too when people are like, I'm against Amazon, right? Like, okay, obviously, like, we're all, like, against Amazon.
Yeah,
but, like,
right.
you also put gasoline in your car, and
right.
this Amazon, like, we have worldwide distribution. You could not pay for $1 million wouldn't have covered this 10 years ago. We have free worldwide distribution.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like the CIA either. But what.
Yeah. But we're gonna we're gonna draw the line is my book. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one thing I gotta be a stickler about. Yeah, for sure.
Well, it'll blow your mind the amount of emails that I've gotten in the last 2 weeks. Yeah. Oh, I really want your book, but like I don't support Amazon. Is there any other way to get it? Or like I've gotten so many versions of that. So then I'm just like, okay, well, I know BarnesandNoble.com and Walmart.com and Pals.com all use the Amazon distribution.
Yep.
So then I just send them the Powell's link, and I'm like, oh, you can get it from Powell's if you're against Amazon. It's the exact same thing. Yeah, and then they're cool with that. So
I didn't even know. I might have to look into that link in the Barnes and Noble /Powell's /Walmart too.
Well, you'll see all
maybe
these
my
people
book's already on there. I don't even know.
100% it's on there. You can go on Walmart.com and buy my books, and then I could tell everybody, Walmart's carrying my book. I'm in Walmart, but it's like it's just that thing you opt in for on Amazon for the distribution. That's it.
That's it. Wow.
That's the behind the curtain. Everybody's
I'm
lying.
Yeah. Man, that's how the sausage is made, dude. There's no. I mean, you're right though about the distribution. I've had some conversations with other writers who hadn't done the self-publishing thing at all, and and they're kind of reticent about using Amazon. So they're trying to look at like Ingram Spark, or there's a few other companies, and it's just like, dude, just take advantage. It's like you not wanting to use the internet or something. Like it's just, I don't know. We can, you can fight that fight if you want, make handmade stuff, and that's all sweet. But like if you want a dude in Australia and somebody in Ireland and somebody in California to all buy your book and get it within, a week or whatever, there's not really a better alternative without investing, building your own thing. Anyway, let's talk about the book itself, because it's really freaking good, man. So tell me a little bit about how this came together.
Dude, I was done. I wasn't gonna do this. I wasn't gonna do anything else, and I think I'm done now. I think I'm done after this. But
is that right? All right.
Yeah. So I hadn't put out a book in like 6 years. Like, I've done chapbooks for like small presses, but I haven't had any kind of a collection. Even Play the Devil was like before, or like right at the beginning of the pandemic or something. So anyway, I've been like accumulating all these poems, because now I've been like doing all these tours and stuff like that. So I've been writing a lot of poems about that. And then I was ready to throw in a towel, and I realized that I had enough for a big enough collection where I can get my name in the print on the spine. So
yeah.
I had 130
Yeah, cool.
pages. Yeah. So I was like,
That's awesome.
all right, I might as well do one more because I think these are my best poems, and I think they really like what I was writing about before this was girls and like relationships and stuff, and that's all still in there, but this is a lot more about like I don't know, I feel like I've grown with like like this country, like I don't know if this country is collapsing or it's about to become the best thing it's ever been. Like it's on the precipice of both, you know? Yeah. And I kind of feel like completely tuned into that. And the more I find these towns that I go to and write about and film these YouTube videos about and do poetry readings in, the more fascinating and interesting I find America, and I really think that we're the best country on earth, and it blows my mind that everybody wants to go to Paris or whatever, when you could go through Indiana for the rest of your life and not see all of Indiana. It's amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, man. No, I'm super hype on. I do want. We'll circle back to talking some more of your travel videos. I was binging some of them last night. I watch them periodically when they come up, but I was like watching one after the other yesterday, and I just love them. I don't understand why they don't get bigger because
nobody watches.
I feel like
I get no views.
I feel like you're doing everything. I feel like you're doing. I mean, nobody watches my YouTube channel either. Most of the listens of this come on Spotify and Substack and Apple. YouTube, the YouTube algorithm is a mystery to me. I don't get what works and what doesn't. But my point is, they're really good. They're what I think a lot of people want, actually. And so, maybe at some point they get a toehold. The numbers start cranking because they're fun. They're like I said, we'll get to them. I want to stay about the poetry for a minute because this is what we're trying to blow. This is what we're trying to hype the most.
Yeah.
But we're hyping all things Scott Laudati today anyway. So, okay, so Rainbow Road is broken up into 6 parts. Each one is written in a different place: Brooklyn, New York, Hazlitt, New Jersey, Suncroft, Ireland, California. Tell me a little bit about the relationship between place and poem. Like, could you write a poem that shows up, say, in the California section? Could you have written that in Suncroft, Ireland? Or would it have come out so completely different it would be a different thing? Like, what is that relationship between where you are and the writing of it?
That's a good question. I feel like I staggered this book in a way that like when I moved to New York, when all those early poems in the beginning are in New York, I was really like I'm gonna make my mark in literature. I don't know. I'm gonna move to the city. I'm gonna make all the connections. And I feel like those poems are more like I'm not hopeful, but like still believing in the magic of New York or youth, or that the universe will do its part if you do your part. And then through each, when I went to Ireland, man, I was like cooked. I just went there to drink and drink and drink and do nothing but drink, and that's all I wanted to do. And luckily, my cousin lives in a little town with one pub and like 40 people and like a great group of guys that were there every night. And we got drunk as hell and like ball busted and played pool. It was great. I want to go back there.
Awesome.
Like, I want to move there. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's the best place to end it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, that's a good question. And I really don't know. I'm not like that tapped into the how or why it happens. But I think the sections are like, because by the time you get to the end and I'm in the Pacific Ocean and I'm staring out at the ghost ship and I'm realizing that I wasted my whole life and there were a lot of things I should have done differently, and I blew it, and and that's kind of how it ends. Like, I'm just like, the last line is the last poem I'll ever write, never to write another poem again. Like, and I kind of really feel that way. I was just staring out at the ocean and watching happy families and dogs running in and out of the water, and like my beautiful girlfriend who's like very cool and supportive, and I really don't tell anything to, like, none of my like inner monologue at all. Like, I spare her all of that, and like I'm just looking at her being free and happy in California, and it's California anyway, so it's the magic of, even though California sucks, it's still California. It's still cool as hell. Yeah. So that's why
No,
I don't know.
this-
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean this is one of the things that's so cool about this book. Reading so I don't know, like the first part's in Brooklyn. So how old would those poems be, like roughly?
20 years.
20 years, yeah,
Ish,
man.
19, 18 years, yeah.
Yeah, because this is the thing. Like, I mean, I'm a novelist. I think like a novelist, right? So like, as I was reading this, like the thing that was so cool was like, I felt like I was getting, how to say this? They're autobiographical largely, but like I felt like I was in this beautiful way skipping across the surface and getting the story of your life without getting into every scene and every detail, and this led to this and this. It was like the feeling of these 20 years. I didn't know how many years it was.
Yeah.
And it works so beautifully that way. And yeah, it's beautiful and it's sad and it's kind of funny at sometimes and it's super relatable almost all of the time. And yeah, but I felt like this huge thing underneath it, which I think is what gives it all of this potency. So
yeah,
whether that's on purpose or not, I mean, it works, man, and it's really a beautiful piece of work for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, and do trust me, like I relate to this, like that's the last poem I'm ever gonna write thing. Like I get it, I totally get it. I say that I don't write poetry, but I say that to myself like once every 3 months. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing this? Why do I keep doing this? Like, what? There's like, you know, it's, and then I just keep coming back to it. It's like I think I hit an age where, you know, I spend time doing this podcast, and I, you know, got a job and a wife and a family and blah 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 blah. And so like, but there's like that part of me that it's weird, man. It's like I'm too old to do something else now, which maybe, you know, maybe it just leads to like whatever. I put a book out every 4, 5, 6 years and sells, you know, 100 copies or 2, something like that. And then I just do, but like now for me to switch gears, it's like, well, then what the hell? I didn't bother to learn how to do anything else. So like, what am I going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and then it's like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough. It's a tough. I think this is a thing that all of us who, you know, have an artistic impulse and drive and want to make stuff, but you know, I think like people that I know who don't, even who are creative or have like an artistic thing or like a hobby or something, they'll sort of say to me, and I think you and I had sort of similar ambitions, maybe slightly different directions, but like similar, like I'm going to make it in this somehow. And people sort of outside of it will go like, well, why can't you just like do it for fun?
Right.
And I can like, on one hand, I can get that. You're like, but on the other hand, it's like, but no, I want to do it all the fucking way.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's what I wanted. I wanted it to be all the fucking way down. Like, and if you got to have a job and you got to do this and got to do that and you got to like, you know, you can't do that. That's not all the way. And yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get to do it all the way, I guess. And there is like a heartbreak to that.
No, totally. I think we have talked about that. But that's kind of how I always felt. It's like that's why like I think you're a good writer and people like respect your writing, because it's like you can tell somebody who like is like a first draft or a second draft or that's good enough, and that's not, I don't know. This is part of the problem too, is I feel like most people have never read anything good, or like they now have only read their friends' work in their online journal or something. Because like I see what everybody says is beautiful every single day on my Twitter feed. Everything's beautiful, and I'm like, have you never read a book? Like, this is very mediocre, and like maybe would be good with a couple more years of writing, but it's sucks. I don't know. Yeah. I'm like always perplexed. I'm like, are you just being nice to your friend, or do you like have no idea what good writing is?
Well, that is something that's kind of, I think, a potential trap of like the sort of network friends mutual promotion kind of thing is, you know, we're all gonna, if you're friends with somebody, it's really hard to tell them that you don't like their work. And then that becomes like a mutual thing. And so it can end up sort of leaving, it can end up like drawing down to like a mediocrity in the middle, because there's not really challenges. Like, I think this is one of the cool things. I don't have the temperament for like an out and out rivalry with somebody, but like that is actually something that's cool about like a competition and a rivalry, because people kind of push each other a little bit, right?
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Like, nobody knows this. I've never said this before, but I'm in a rivalry with Jeff Vandermeer. So Jeff Vandermeer, if you're listening, I'm coming for you, motherfucker. But he has no idea who I am. It's the guy who wrote Annihilation and the Southern Reach trilogy. My goal is to write a better book than he did. Anyway, but yeah, you're right.
Fuck him, bro. Hell yeah.
But yeah, there can be, I think you can like reach beyond that. But I do think that is one thing to be a little bit cautious of, is like, are you just putting it in front of people that then tell you it's good because you're friends with them? And getting encouragement from people to keep going is one thing, but like,
sure,
actual feedback from somebody is a little bit different. You know, it's tricky.
Yeah, and this is just like the newest thing in like a long line of things that like I've really hated since the beginning. I feel like since I'm not going to be doing this anymore, I could just like speak,
burn it down,
much more openly about this. Yeah, like because like when I first moved to New York, I think I've talked about this with you, but it was like the alt-lit thing was happening, right? So like Talon was still in Brooklyn, and like Scott McClanahan, I don't know if he was living in Brooklyn, but he was like always there. And I thought what those guys were doing was pretty good and pretty cool. Like, because like Talon invented like a new form of writing, which I used to call like non-writing, but like he was the first one to do it, and like he invented it. And so I think that's, even though I don't like his writing, I think that's cool that he made a new way of writing.
I had the same opinion when I read Shoplifting from American Apparel. I was like, I don't really like this, but damn, what is this? What the hell is this?
Yeah, he like made a new way of writing.
Yeah.
But then there was like all these other alt-lit then people, right? And I thought like all of that was like so bad, and that was essentially like the same thing that we were just talking about. And I was like, these people can't possibly like bad writing. They can't like bad writing. Like, so do they not read, or are they all trying to write like Tao Lin, who invented it? So that's cool.
Right.
And I don't know, Scott McClanahan's in that group, and I guess I don't know why he's alt-lit, because he doesn't write alt-lit. Like, he's just like a
I know
like
that
writer.
name. I don't.
Yeah,
I know that name. I don't know much about him or his work.
So.
But
Yeah, I don't even know where he
bit,
went.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Scott McClanahan was always like in that scene. Like Brian Allen Carr was in that scene too, and like
okay.
And those guys were like, even though they were alt-lit, like they were just writing like regular lit. Like Brian Allen Carr's not like alt-lit. Like, it's just like good lit. It's just like regular lit.
You hang out at hipster bars and it's all lit then, I guess.
It kind of, but like then that went away, because I hated that scene, because that scene was all then about image and like whose Tumblr blog, and like who the apathetic skinny girl was, and like I was like, I hate this because it's all cool kids, and that's not why I write, because I wasn't a cool kid. That's why I started writing. So I always thought that was gross and dumb. And then that disappeared for a long time. And then this resurgence of all that kind of happened on Twitter, or online lit, or whatever I don't know why you call it online lit or alt lit, but like yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I think most of it's horrible. And then and now there's like this Volume 0 thing. Are you like this? So this is like the New York thing.
This is the first I've heard is about Volume 0.
This, you'll see it soon, because and it was like a book club, and then somebody with $1 bazillion took over the magazine part of it, and now they're publishing a lot of people that we know and paying them good money, and that's cool. But like, they just had a big party at the Box in New York, which is like super exclusive and expensive. It's like where Leonardo DiCaprio hangs out. rented the whole thing out. Everything was free. A publisher I'm not going to name called me, and they were like, "Oh, do you want us to put you on our list so you can go to the party?" And I was like, "This is every single thing that I hate about writing. I don't want to go." I didn't go. All of my friends went, and everybody had a great time. But like, I'm watching the videos of it, and it's just super hot. Emaciated chicks from Berlin, from London, all with pencil tattoos, all talking about like how in lit is, and like they're writers first, but they're also fashion people, and they're also like this. And I was just like, how can this be still going on for 20 years? Nobody reads. Everything these people write is fucking horrible. And like, yet they're the writers. And they're the ones who get to cosplay as writers. It's just like, fuck this. I'm sick of this.
That is very strange. Yeah, it's very odd. I mean, it's difficult for me to relate to on a couple of levels. I mean, one is I've been to New York. I've spent a ton of time in New York, but I purposely don't live there, like on purpose. And I think when the alt-lit scene was going on, when Tao Lin came out, I was living in Boise, Idaho, right? So I'm so detached from all of this stuff, and I get sort of plugged in like here and there because of like this podcast and stuff. But it's the idea, like I might want to go to a party like that, but that it's for writers and about makes me less want to go. Like,
why don't you want to hang out with other writers? That's the last group of people I'd ever want to hang out with. Other writers.
Can't we just like have some drinks and maybe a little bit of this and like, like
I
don't need all this other bullshit and to like pretend that I'm part of something that's happening. I
guarantee you there was probably 0 minutes spent talking about any kind of writing at this party.
Probably not. Yeah, probably not. Yeah. yeah, exactly.
I don't know, it's just all so stupid, man. And like I feel like if you're not from New York, you can't possibly appreciate the amount of secret money that is moving through these presses and these book launches, and everybody is like, every book you open now says they got their MFA at Columbia. Every single one. And it's not that a friend of mine just had a book come out and he went to Columbia, and we were laughing about this because it's like, it has nothing to do with the quality of your writing or education. It's just like, how long can your parents keep paying for your apartment and for you to go to parties like this, what I'm talking about, until you meet the people that are going to publish your books? And that's why you have to be in New York. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that's, I mean, on the one hand, it's like, well, I've had, I almost can't blame somebody for going that route in a way. Because like, if that's the only way to fucking do it, then I guess that's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I guess that's. But this is another thing. Like, I'm too old for that now, man. Like, I've had drink more than 4 drinks. It ruins the next day. So I'm having a little whiskey right now, but I can't be staying up till 4 o'clock in the morning, partying with strange women. Like a party like that would ruin my life. Forget that. Give me a leg up or something. Yeah, I don't. That's very interesting. It's very interesting to hear that there's money pouring into it like that, because what it makes me curious is like the people are putting that money in. Do they see that as like an investment in that these people that they're pouring money into will reap rewards for them? Or is there like something more insidious going on where it's like, no, man, if you like pay, like these people will end up being mouthpieces for some nebulous set of ideas or whatever. Like I don't really understand what the money is for, I guess, because rich people, super rich people don't blow money. They don't just give like it's.
I don't know.
Works
I would
for
disagree
them
with
somehow.
that.
Okay.
Honestly,
you're probably right.
I think that you're looking at it practically, but like you can always. I feel like you can like work and get money, but you can't work and get like clicks and fame. And fame is the currency. And like the best way to do that, if you're a talentless idiot with money, is to just spend it and blow it, and everybody will come and everybody will think you're cool. And like and that's all that my dad, when I graduated high school, my dad was like, "Cool's over the day you graduate high school." But it was the aughts, and that's not true anymore.
Right.
Everything is about being cool, and that is the only currency until the day you die. I'm 40 years old. I'm still worried about being cool. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
It's so true.
My grandpa had already fought in World War II and came back and was a mailman. You know, like
Right.
Yeah.
He hadn't thought about being cool for a second, right? Like, yeah.
Never. Yeah. And that's all we care about. Yeah.
Yeah, you never had a moment where it's like, I wonder if I'm being cool right now. Yeah. It's funny. I had so I have a teenage stepdaughter, and they will ruin you about the idea because they're cooler. I mean, she's cool. She's 16. She's cool, right? And not that all 16-year-olds are, but like she's got friends, and you know, and she's cool in her world. She's super cool, and she actually is. And then but she thinks me, I'm as lame as possible. And I literally had like a voice
of all time.
Yeah. And I literally had a voice in my head at one point. It was like, but hey, I don't think she knows that I used to be cool. And then I was like, what a cringy thought to even have. Like, what? Does she know that I used to be cool? Maybe I should explain to her that I used to be cool. Yeah.
Dude, that is so uncool.
That's the least cool thing you can do is say, I used to be cool. Yeah. Oh, man. Well, couple other things I want to touch on. I mean, I want people to buy this book. I should have asked you beforehand, are there any poems in here that you'd be willing to read on air for us right now, or is that verboten?
I would prefer not to. I also don't have a copy here. Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. All right, that's cool, man. You're gonna have to catch you live in action at some point, then.
I actually have never done an online reading. I've always said no.
No?
I've never done one.
Okay, good for you, man. Stick to it. Stick to it. No, I should have asked you beforehand. Yeah,
that's all right.
Yeah. That's all right. That's all right.
I would do it if I had a copy of my book in front of me, but I don't have one.
No, that's okay. Yeah. That's okay. I wanted to ask a couple things because this book is got so much sort of autobiographical stuff about it. I feel like I've got some license to. I'm always these interviews are always like tricky because I'm never sure like how personal I should get, but I feel like I've got a little bit of license to ask about a couple things that are in this book. One is I was hoping like your dad comes up in this book a couple times. And I know just recently you had you were on like local television. I don't know if it was local to you, but you were on like a local TV spot.
Yeah.
And then you had like a tweet or something about how your dad responded to it. And I guess I just wanted to ask, mostly because I have a peculiar relationship with my dad as it relates to like the stuff that I do. One thing so I guess I'm stumbling around here. I wanted to ask you a little bit about that TV spot. Like, what was the deal with that? It's kind of cool because it would never even occur to me that that's like a promotional avenue, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then the other is like, if you're willing to, can you tell me a little bit about like you and your dad and writing and like what that triangle looks like? I think it'll be interesting to other writers because I think we all have a weird relationship with a parental figure regarding all this stuff.
Sure. Okay. Well, shout out Og Stone. I met him at AWP and he was sober. So he was like driving me around everywhere,
cool.
Which was amazing. I never met him before. Great guy, good writer. He lives by New Haven, so we're doing a release show in New Haven next week, and I actually have no idea how he pulled this off, but he got us on New Haven 8 and like 5:00 in the afternoon. Where we sat. It's funny because I always watch like Corey Feldman or like Andrew WK on like a local station somewhere, and I'm always like, why is like, Corey Feldman's arguing with the people at 8:00 in the morning on the couch? Or like Andrew WK is doing the meteorology report, you know?
Right.
Anyway, so that's what we did. Like, we were there on the couch, and I was pretty sick. It was pretty sick, man. Like, I didn't really think anything of it, really. And then I put a clip of it on my social media, and every single person I've ever met in my entire life, everyone, ex-girlfriends that hate me, a substitute teacher I had in high school, everybody messaged me and was like, you were on the news? Like, that's like all of a sudden everything I've been doing for 20 years was validated. And like, now I'm a better writer than all of them and like what they ever thought I would be. It's so crazy.
Right.
It's like now
It's
it's
so
real.
weird. Yeah. Yeah, like and this is not to downplay the fact that it is kind of cool to go on there, but there is like this weird thing, like somehow TV is more real than everything else. Like, I mean, how many people actually watch that? It's just not that big. It doesn't. But I feel the same way. I don't know if it's a generational thing or what. But you're like, well, TV. That's actual. That's real. That's somehow a real thing out there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm more like maybe like a Gen Z person now because all I do is watch YouTube. I don't watch TV at all or anything.
Me neither.
But I was like, oh, I guess like everybody my age and older, like all we did was watch TV. So now like I'm on the TV. Like now I made it.
Real, baby.
You know,
you made it.
It's real. Yeah. Which is crazy because if I knew the response was gonna be like this, like I would have 100% never been a writer and tried to be an actor or on TV or something. Like it was just the validation was nuts. Immediately. Awesome. For no reason. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So well, actually a funny story. So the guy who set it up, Og, he lived in the next town. So they actually didn't get that channel. They got like the next town's channel. So we asked the news lady who was interviewing us, like, if we could, like, watch this somewhere. So she's like, oh, go to Trinity Bar down the street. So we went down there, told the bartender, we're like, if we sit here for 2 hours and drink, like, will you put this up on the big screen? And then by the time this came on, the bar was packed. She silenced everything, put the thing up on the projector. We watched it live, and then, like, everybody was cheering, and they were like, we know those guys. It was sick. It was like Entourage, dude. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's more real than being on the TV in a way, right? Like, this group of people who's around you is, like, invested in it. I don't know, like,
yeah,
that's pretty sweet, dude. That's awesome.
It was sick.
Yeah.
It makes me feel really good, too, because it's like, I don't know. I feel like this book of poems is like, I feel like it's the best I've done, but I also feel like it's the most like honest, or so much of it is me now older watching the younger guys like run around and see like remembering being that guy and now knowing what happens in between them and me. And now I know where this all leads. Or cities that I had been to 20 years ago are now completely different cities. They're either much better or much worse, or the downtown's been knocked down, or it's completely hopeless. Like, I don't know, there's just so much it feels like nothing's happening, and then all of a sudden you look back and you realize everything happened. And the thing moves slow, but it also is fast. I don't know. Yeah. I'm 40. Yeah, I have nothing. Yeah.
Time is weird that way, man. No. I'm just nodding along vigorously. It's like I went to Austin, Texas. Was that last week or 2 weeks ago? That's where I got my MFA. Was down there, and from the guy who ran the program, he kind of he didn't quite start the program, but he like built it into what it was. He worked for the program for 20 some odd years. And he was my thesis advisor, just a genuine good guy, and just like never had anything negative to say, just super positive about everything. You know, he was one of those guys that like made you feel like you mattered, you know, and went to this. So I went back to Austin. I hadn't been on campus since I left it, and went to this memorial and ran to a bunch of faces and stuff. And it was just weird being in Austin and being like, I don't know, that was like 14 years ago, I guess I left. And it was like, yeah, it's sort of the same city, but it's way, way, way different. Like it's like having a dream about the city I know, because there'll be like a building I recognize, and then there's a skyscraper next to it. You're like, where am I? What is this place? Yeah, and the tacos are 3 times more expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I still listen to like I don't know why. I listen to like Joe Rogan and all those guys. Actually, I listen to podcasts making fun of these guys usually. Now.
Okay, there you go.
All they talk about though is old Austin, the way Austin used to be, blah, blah, blah. But did you get your MFA at the place that like Tim O'Brien was at?
He did. Yeah, he had been I think it was before my time, but he had been,
Yeah.
to my understanding, he'd been a guest lecturer there for a couple semesters. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
because when I was thinking about getting an MFA, the substitute teacher I actually just said reached out and said he was like he saw the thing on the news, which I haven't talked to him in 20 years.
Yeah.
He suggested that I go and try to get my MFA in Austin. So it was probably the same school because he was like Tim O'Brien came out of this place, and the things they carried back then was revered as an amazing book. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a good program. I've talked about it on here a little bit. There's a bunch of other good ones too. That one was great. I feel like at this point, you probably don't need it, right? That'd be like a weird thing. You'd go in there and it would be like, that's where you find your voice, I think, is in an MFA program. I think once you've got it, it's sort of, it might not.
I wish I
be
can
that
go
good a thing
back
for you.
Well, I wish I could go back and do it because first of all, there was no option of me doing it. This was never going to get paid for. I had no way of doing it. So I was like always kind of shitting on it and like, I don't know, talking poorly. Yeah, whatever. But if I can go back, I would figure it out because it's where everybody I know made their connection to get ahead. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I weirdly thought it was going to be better for that, and it didn't do anything, like connections network wise. No, I don't. Not really. Yeah, it's kind of odd. I don't know. It should have on some level, but I don't know if I was just an asshole when I was there, which might be true. So if you do it, don't be a dick. Probably would be like, not that you would be, but that'd be probably my number one takeaway. Is like, be nice to people.
I really wanted to go to Naropa. Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know Naropa?
A little bit, yeah. That would be.
I really wanted to go to
really
that
cool.
one.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch. I mean, there's so many of them now, and I don't. They change all the time. Some of them are expensive, some of them are free. It's kind of all over. It's kind of all over the place. But you're done, man. You're retired from writing. So what are we talking about?
Well, now I just get to live in regret.
Yeah, I get that.
So I feel about everything. Yeah.
I want to ask about one little detail that sort of shows up twice in Rainbow Road, and I think it's like two different looks at the same instance, and maybe it even shows up another time. At some point, did you get stabbed by a Puerto Rican girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only in one poem, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think there's like there's something else that alludes to it, I think. There's like, but anyway, are you willing to share some of that story with us or no? No. Fair enough.
Yeah, she and I are on good terms now.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
No, but what I will say, okay, I will give a little bit of context.
Okay.
Yeah, she was like my first love, right? Like we moved in together really young. Neither of us had any idea what we were doing. We had a dog. We got a dog, which was the worst thing that you could have thrown on top of this situation. Actually, it's the dog that's in that painting over there.
Okay. Yeah.
A red boxer named Satine. Yeah, she made it 10 years, which is really sad. But anyway, we would fight, and then like I think we were like addicted to that. Like we were like best friends for years and years before we were dating, and then every fight we had would escalate, get crazier and crazier, and then we were both like really young and emotional, and like we would have to like, I think for like dramatic purposes, or I feel like maybe I really liked like living in this story, and like so I would maybe have something to write about, and she was crazy. There's another ex-girlfriend who I don't have anything good to say about. I have a lot of good things to say about this one because like I don't think that anything that happened between us was her fault. Like even like the alcoholism, the cheating, all that stuff. Like we were really young. We were trying to make it on our own in New Jersey at 20 years old, which is impossible.
Right.
And there was a lot of like back history and like mental illness and stuff like that. I don't hold anything against her at all.
That's
so
fair.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
And we laugh about how she stabbed me when I see her. Like because I still have a scar on my arm. So yeah.
Well, see, that's cool. You can like
Yeah.
heal about it, right? I mean, yeah, that's interesting. I just was, you know, I read that a couple times. I was like, I wonder if that really happened, or and it seemed like an interesting thing. And this is another. I guess I'm also trying to point at something that I think Rainbow Road is doing so effectively, not just in any one poem, but all taken together. It's doing all these things. It's like pointing to your life in this fascinating way that's not self-indulgent and not like self-pitying or anything, but like honest. And yeah, there's like regrets in there, but like, I think if you're like hitting your 40s and you don't look back, and I don't know if even regret is necessarily the term, but there aren't like some painful memories that you've recontextualized. There aren't like narrative threads that have drawn to a close. There's not stuff you miss. And I don't think you really were living when you were 20. You know what I mean? Like,
it's also funny how calm I am now. And we do these tours, and like I'm reading a book in the back seat, and like we're at parties, and I drink a lot. I drink way too much, but like I have a superpower where I can drink all night and nobody will ever know that I'm drunk.
That's amazing.
Which is
yeah,
it's amazing, but it's also bad. But the younger guys are animals, and like and they didn't know me at the time when I was an animal, and like even that stabbing story, for instance, it's like that happened because I was like flipping out, and then I smashed my foot through the coffee table, and then how she reciprocated that was picking up a piece of the glass and stabbing me with it. And like this was just a Tuesday night back then, and like so it's like they're like, oh come on man, you don't want to do any blow in the bathroom, like you don't do anything. And I was like, dude, I can't do that now. But if it was back in the day, I would have done all the cocaine and beat the shit out of you. Like, yeah.
right. No, that's, I mean, that's the same thing. I've chilled out dramatically, and it's funny. There was like a thing going around Twitter the other day or whatever, like a photo of you at 19. And I don't have a ton of photos of me at 19 because it was before the smartphone era, but every single one of them is like clearing a gravity bong, hanging out in a dilapidated mansion, climbing something. Like every one of them is something like vaguely criminal or at least insane looking. And and yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. Like I don't want to live like that anymore. It doesn't even really appeal to me. But I also like don't necessarily want to have lived differently than that. Like
no.
Yeah, it was a good time. I also had like a lot of I felt like you could probably say this in a better way than I can. I felt like all that energy needed to get sort of blown off, and that's was like me figuring out kind of who I was and what I was about. It was like I was sort of on fire, and like it took me a decade to like figure out how to like turn that big house fire into like something a little smaller and more stable and useful or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. It's funny now because like we'll be like, we'll be in the Midwest, and I'll be like, oh, dude, there's a state park right there. They have the Massasauga rattlesnake. It's like a rare rattlesnake. Like we should like get up and try and find this snake. Like it only exists here. Actually, I think I hit you up about trying to find that snake.
Yeah, you mentioned something to me about that. I didn't really know anything about it. Yeah.
Anyway, this is like what. So I'm like, wherever we are, I'm like, there's like a specific kind of like turtle or snake or whatever, and I'm like, I'm really interested in like I've always been into that, and now that like I have a girlfriend, I'm not trying to get laid or like do coke or anything all night. Like I'm like, I'm really into like finding the reptiles or like
that's awesome,
whatever.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which nobody ever wants to do, man. This whole generation sucks, dude. Every one of these people, like, we're like, this is why nobody knows anything. And, like, I think this is why nobody's watching my YouTube videos, because who cares? Like, as we're going to these towns, I'm, like, filming the river. I'm filming the riverboat. There's, like, I know there's, like, different kinds of, like, sediments in the soil that have different fossils for, like, for in Louisville or something. Nobody gives a shit at all. Everybody's just staring at their phone. We're driving for 12 hours. They're like, oh, America sucks. This is boring. It's just highway. I'm like, you've looked at Instagram for 12 hours. You haven't looked outside at the window one time. Like, of course, what are you writing about? None of you write anything interesting because you don't know anything.
Yeah,
You haven't seen anything. Yeah.
Yeah, damn, dude.
You know how to get
dope.
you know how to get to the show. You know how to get fucked up. Try to fuck some skank after the show, and then look at your Instagram, and then that's it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Tell him, Scott. Fucking tell him. Well, see, now this is the thing. This is why, they need you in the community, because now this is like elder statesman Scott Laudati era. I mean, you can be a guiding light to these whippersnappers, point them in the right direction.
Nah, man, nobody cares. It's like boring. I know what I'm saying right now is boring as hell to everyone. Like,
yeah, it's literally like somebody's listening, being like, "Oh, he's chopped. That unk is chopped." Yeah, and I am chopped. I'll be straight up with you. I am chopped. I'm bald. I got like my blood work's not great, frankly. Like I'm chopped as hell. Yeah.
Yeah, I got one ball, dude. We're bad news.
Yeah. That's literally chopped. That's what they mean when they say chopped. Yeah. Tell me. Let's talk a little bit more about these travels, because the one I'm remembering the most strongly right now is, and I think it's because I was just in New Mexico, is it? Oh, now I'm blanking on the name of it. It's a strange name of a town in New Mexico, and it's a great example of like what you do. Is it
Tucumcari?
Tucumcari.
Yes.
Yeah. It's great weird little town, sort of northeastish New Mexico. Route 66 used to go through there, so the Ozark Trail used to go through there. They got all like the old roadside architecture is kind of still there, but apparently it's a bunch of alcoholics. Also,
you watched my video.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. Which isn't a big surprise. I mean, I've spent some time in New Mexico. It's not a big surprise. But maybe that would be a good example of like talking about your means of traveling. Why did you go to New Mexico? And yeah, we'll start there. Why did you go to New Mexico? And when did you go to New Mexico?
Okay, this was like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I got my buddy that I do Bone Machine with. He lives up in the Texas Panhandle in a town called Hereford. Route 66 kind of like skirts around it. It's like 10 minutes away. But it's like up there in the Panhandle by Amarillo.
Okay.
So from his house, as a launch point, you can hit. New Mexico has endless ghost towns. And as you're seeing in the video, as I'm learning too, the steam engines on the railroads needed to be refilled with water every 10 to 20 miles. So every 10 to 20 miles had a town built where they could extract water and fill it up. And now they're all abandoned. So that's why New Mexico, through that route, has so many ghost towns, which I only learned researching the last video. Yeah. So Tucumcari, though, was one of the bigger towns for whatever reason. Because a lot of these towns had like 100 people or so. Tucumcari is a city. It's got a whole bunch of stuff. But so wacky, man. Like, what's left is really crazy. I was talking about the tarantulas in the video.
Yeah, that creeps me out, man. That's like their thing. That's their annual thing with tarantulas. Which the town I grew up in, we may have talked about this. The town I grew up in, we had a fish fly festival every year for mayflies, these big gross insects that live for like 3 days, and we get them by the millions. And they had that was like their annual festival. There's like a fish fly king and a fish fly queen. That like so the tarantula thing doesn't surprise me, but also it creeps me out.
Dude, I was taking a bus from New York to I think Toronto one time, but we were like, I don't know if we went around I don't know what some route that this took was through like Western New York, which is basically Midwest when you get out there.
Yeah.
The mayflies were happening at the gas station I was at. They were all going to the lights. Holy cow, man. Like, that is unbelievable. And they all live for 1 day, right?
Yeah, it's like 2 days or something. But yeah, basically. They don't eat. All they do is, supposedly they don't eat. They just hatch, and then they try to mate, and then they die. That's pretty much it.
Dude, and the size of bats. Like, humongous. Yeah.
They're big. Yeah.
Every available piece of anything that was like white or like light was covered in it. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, in my town, they would get bad enough at night in fish fly season, which is just kind of just finished not that long ago. This year was kind of light, but in a bad year, there would be so many of them. They would so you'd get a street light on the road, and they'd be around the street light, but they would also gather in the light on the road. And if you drove through them, it was like driving through snow. If you hit your brakes, you would like lose control.
No,
There was so many of them. And
Ew.
everybody's rite of passage in that town, not everybody, but almost, certainly mine, my brothers, all my friends, your rite of passage was everybody would always, at least when they were like 15 or 16, you'd work for like Taco Bell or Blockbuster Video or a gas station. And your rite of passage was you had to go out during fish fly season and hose them all down off the building and then take a snow shovel and dump them into a garbage dumpster. And they reeked of rotting fish.
Ew. Really?
Yeah. So,
Where was this?
This is New Baltimore, Michigan. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's about 20, 30 miles north of Detroit.
Is it called
Yeah.
New Baltimore? Like, what did the Dutch go through there or anything?
Supposedly some guy whose name was sort of like Baltimore settled it. Like his name was
okay.
Humor or something. I don't remember exactly what, but supposedly it was some guy who had a name similar to it, and he settled it and he called it New Baltimore. But there's not much going on. It's just big box stores and like a 3-block downtown at this point.
Yeah. Well, that's what's cool about the Panhandle and New Mexico and stuff too, is they don't have that. There's none of that big box stuff. It never even.
That is cool.
It didn't make it long enough to get that.
Right.
You know.
Right. Yeah.
But because there's
entirely.
there's no weather, so everything that was ever made is still there. Wood
It's just
floors.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wood. Yeah. Rafters. Yeah. They're all still there. It's crazy.
New Mexico is. I was in Santa Fe and in Albuquerque, which are like they're modern cities or whatever. But we also drove up, went to Chaco Canyon and a couple places. Up
Man, I've
into, like,
always
the
wanted to go to
Northwest.
Chaco Canyon.
Oh, it's so
That's
cool, dude.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Yeah. Chaco Canyon is bizarre. It's just like, what was, and you can really you can start to get a sense of like why, some of these places even have like all this draw to like new age people and crystals and all of this stuff. There is like a weird energy to almost every part of the state that I've been in. And the Native American presence is real strong. Like we went to a part of the state where, I don't know, half the people you saw, like just in Walmart or a gas station, were at least partially native. And yeah, there's just a very different vibe out there. I liked it, actually. Like I kind of thought the whole place was kind of cool, even though it was a little methy. You could tell it was a little methy around the edges of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's not their fault. That's just how it is.
Man, I've always wanted to go to Chaco Canyon, man. That's cool. It's insane that there was habitation there like since like the beginning of time, and then there was like
Forever.
new habitation on top of that afterwards, and like there's no way you could grow food there. There's no water, yet somehow they figured it out, and nobody knows how. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's very strange. It doesn't make any sense that there would be such a large it was hundreds of people were living there. I mean, you can see it. There's like multi-story dwellings and all this crazy, it's really impressive and strange. And then there's just like a mile walk where you can see all kinds of rock art just on this wall, basically. It's been there for hundreds and hundreds of years. Spirals and goat men and like weird shapes, and it just goes on and on and on and on. And then if you go way out far enough, we didn't make it because it was like another 2-mile walk, and we'd been walking around the canyon all day. And there's a spot where they're pretty confident, the historians or anthropologists or whatever are pretty confident that the tribe was carving in this rock what was essentially like a nebula exploding or a supernova. And so it's like, I have to remember, I don't remember exactly what the image is like, but like they apparently had seen this crazy cosmic event, didn't understand what it was, drew it on this rock. And you just imagine like having no, because we see stuff and you just Google it. You're like, what was that? What am I seeing? Oh, yeah, there's a news report. Yeah, the Northern Lights are out tonight. So that's what that is. But like, you're just a dude living in New Mexico and suddenly the night sky explodes. Like, what do you even, what do you even make of that?
That's
It's
crazy.
so yeah. So New Mexico's full of cool, like,
Yeah.
not every, Albuquerque doesn't have that vibe, but there is something cool that it feels like you can kind of get in touch with like a pre-modern perspective, or like what it might have been like before all this nonsense. Yeah, it's a cool place.
Yeah. I feel like I need to go, like, I don't know. Like I said, like, I drink way too much. Like, I do kratom all the time to go to sleep because my legs always hurt. Like, I really feel like I need to, like, go out there and go camping for, like, 2 months. And, like, also the other thing that when I'm done with it, so September 5th, when I see you in Detroit, is going to be my last reading, I guess, for a very long time. I'm taking this fucking phone and I'm throwing it in the ocean. Like,
hell yeah.
because I've become a moron, man. I don't, like, read anymore. I don't know. I don't do it. I just look at my phone for 15 hours a day. If you told me I looked at my phone for 15 hours a day, I'd believe you. And on top of that, all I do is watch YouTube. I'm an idiot. Like, I used to be a smart person who read all the time, and I'm not anymore. Like, I'm not an interesting person anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the phone definitely makes us all less interesting, doesn't it? Because we all kind of it kind of flattens us. Or then your algorithm and my algorithm probably aren't identical, but there's probably quite a bit of overlap in what shows up in them. But then it sort of flattens you, and then it's like that becomes like starts to become how you think, or what you think about, at least. And I have the same problem. I mean, I would like to throw my phone away.
Yeah,
as well.
I'm gonna do it. I don't have kids. I don't have a job. I don't have any responsibility.
Fuck it.
I'm gonna do it. I might go out to New Mexico for 2 years. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
I need to get back to something, man. I hate my life. I'm unhappy all the time. Yeah.
Oh man, I hate to hear that, but I mean that means you got to do something about it then, right?
I know.
So yeah. So the phone thing probably, it's so weird because we're all addicted to it, and it is easy to sort of like kind of just laugh about because we're all addicted, but like it's a fucking problem, man.
Dude, I know they're pumping something through this thing. Like, I was at AWP like a week after the Epstein files dropped, or maybe like 2 weeks, because I had been freebasing those Epstein files.
Stuff,
like, I needed to go to rehab for Epstein files, and and every single person, all the writers, right, all these people who are like the culture people, didn't know a fucking anything. Didn't know anything. Had no interest at all. Like, I'd be like, wait, you really you don't think it's weird that they said that Joe Biden was killed in a military tribunal in 2019? You have no thoughts on that. The president of the United States. Oh, I don't know if I believe that. Oh, did they really say that? Like, that was the response I got, literally, from 99% of the people. And I'm like, there's something pumping through this phone that's either making me crazy or it's making everybody a moron. Because there's no way you could read about Woody Allen eating aborted fetuses and not have an opinion or thought.
Right. Well, dude, the other thing is, this is part of the, I think, the crazy making thing that happens. Because I was way down the Epstein rabbit hole so far that I don't even know what I read in the thing versus what was a joke somebody made anymore. It's like a swirling labyrinth of Epstein information at this point. Yeah. And I go from I believe a huge proportion of it. Obviously, not everything, actually. Not everything everybody said about it actually happened, but some dark, evil, kind of difficult to make up shit happened for sure. But I do think there's like this weird thing where we're getting, and I think this gets to what you're saying. They're pumping all this crazy stuff at us, a lot of which is true, some of which is bullshit. It's all mixed together. And then they're like pumping this narrative to like not that having any inkling of a conspiracy going on makes you crazy. So it's like you get fed all this information, and then you get told that if you buy into any of it, you're an insane, unreasonable person. And so what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, I'm constantly being told absolutely bonkers information that, as far as I can tell, is true. And then the other side of the thing is, like, if I believe that, I'm like a danger to society or something. It's a weird it's a weird place to be in. And probably half of those people that were like, I don't know, probably half of them believe it too, but like they're kind of conditioned to not say anything, right? To be like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Epstein was eating babies exactly. Maybe, probably. Somebody probably was.
Do you and I text each other jokingly that we're eating babies?
No.
Do I ever message you and be like, that torture video you sent me was really awesome? Like,
they were definitely torturing people. They're definitely, and like the former prime minister of Israel was like one of his top contacts, but like we're not supposed to make any connections. Like,
and then if you bring it up, everybody thinks you're an asshole.
Right? Yeah. I'm with you. That thing is bizarre, and that's. I had the conversation with this trip I was out in New Mexico with some buddies, some guys I've known for 25 years, right? And it was one of them's bachelor party. I don't even know why we went out there, but we got into this like political, like current event situation, and it ended up not into like a big argument, but like we were definitely coming at things from different sides. So I kind of just like backed out of it. And the next day I was just thinking, I was like, man, I don't even want to know anything anymore, because all it does is like alienate me from people I care about. Like, instead of just hanging out with my boys, I'm like having an argument about some bullshit that I can't have any effect on. Doesn't matter what I think about it. And instead of us just chilling and laughing and listening to music and dicking around, we're like arguing over some finer points of some bullshit that doesn't.
Here's no fun, Brad. Bring it up reality again.
Right. And it's just like, why do I even bother knowing any of this stuff? What good does it do me? Like, And I realize it's like knowing anything about politics or the news, it's kind of just alienating it just alienates you from other people, I feel like.
Yeah.
And that's not saying none of that stuff is happening. Like, dude, we can go UFO rabbit hole, the Epstein rabbit hole, the Israel stuff, like all of this stuff is happening. But like, I don't know if it does you any good to know about it or not. I kind of feel like it doesn't.
It doesn't. It makes it's way more fun to if everybody wants to be around you, if you don't bring up people eating people, definitely.
Right. But then you become like a person who's like, is doing that, then like, you're kind of okay with it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It puts you in a weird conundrum.
Well, I imagine that's how you get to, and if I feel like this, I'm sure you probably feel like this, although you have things tying you to real life. Like, don't you just dream about being out there somewhere in New Mexico, just you and a horse and a porch, drink beer and read your books on?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want anymore?
Not really, man. No.
Exactly.
No.
I loved hanging out in backyards and getting drunk with people, and I think I'm a sociable person.
Yeah.
It's never fun anymore. Nothing's fun. Yeah.
It all comes up. It's all. Yeah. And when you ever get into this situation, so you're down the YouTube rabbit hole, I'm down the YouTube rabbit hole, or whatever. Do you ever get into a conversation with somebody where clearly the algorithm that you follow is like the polar opposite of the algorithm they follow, and you're like, oh, we don't even live in the same fucking world, you and I.
Dude, the last election was the perfect example of this, because if you were outside interacting with anybody, you were like, oh, Trump's gonna win by 100%.
Right.
But if you weren't and you were on the computer, you were like, Kamala Harris is like, well, nobody's ever gonna vote for Trump because Kamala represents decency and like who blah blah blah. And then you try to talk to somebody like that, and they're like, you're crazy, man. They're not gonna vote for Trump again. What about January 6th? Blah blah blah. And I'm like, the guy delivering the pizza, the illegal immigrant delivering the pizza, has a Joe Biden sucks pizza box on the back of his bicycle. This guy's gonna win by 100%, the biggest margin in human history. How do you not know that? But the algorithm, algorithm completely,
I had some friends that I was trying to explain that to, that he was gonna win, and they thought like, I didn't, I'm not gonna get lost in it. I didn't vote for the guy, but I was trying to tell my friends that he was going to win, and they turned for like a good 3 months.
That means you support him. That means you support him if you say that. Yes, definitely.
For a good 3 months, I was like the Trump guy. I was like, no, all I was saying, I was like predicting a sports game. If you say the Eagles are going to win, that doesn't mean you're an Eagles fan. But like, it couldn't, you like, it warped the whole ability for us to even have the conversation about it. I was like, oh no, all I'm saying is what you're saying. Everybody you talk to out in the real world is voting for this guy. I know the New York Times isn't or whatever, but like that's like this much of society. So Yeah. No, but dude,
Yeah.
I feel you. I feel you. Get a horse, wander New Mexico. New Mexico is a great place for it because they don't, in the winter you can drop south a little bit. In the summer you can go up into the hills a little bit. It's great. Nobody really cares what you're up to out there. I feel like I really got the sense that like nobody gave a shit what you did out there. I don't know. Maybe that's not true.
The drinking was crazy in Tucumcari.
Was
like,
it? Yeah.
No, just like waiting online at the Allsups, the gas station, and just like creature after creature coming in and just ordering getting shooters of vodka or like fifths of vodka and then pour them in the soda cup online, and then just getting back in their car. I was like, yeah. I've never seen that at Allsups. It's like if you go to Wawa, just buy a handle of alcohol over the counter. It was nuts.
And then you that is crazy. I don't think there's any place where that's like a common practice other than Tucumcari.
Tucumcari, bro.
Wild. That's wild. Oh man.
Well, but anyway, I wanted to capture all of these different towns and places, and I feel like I only do that in a small section of this book. I don't feel like I do it in the whole thing, which maybe I would have liked to more, but I don't know. I did feel like each section of this book, or each poem in those sections, kind of like place has always been the most interesting thing to me. Like some people write about girls, or like I don't know, whatever. It's like the location is always like the muse for me that I use, and it's always worked. Yeah.
No, and that's why one of the things I love about your work and what I vibe with so much about the stuff that you put out on the internet, because I think one of the sort of cures. I mean, I was sort of half jokingly saying that, hey man, it's up to you to lead these Zoomers into the light, kind of, but not joking. I mean, I think maybe one of the, not maybe the cures, but like a counteracting effect of the whole phone AI algorithm thing is returning to like a curiosity and affection for place. Like maybe you can live in a town, I don't know about Tucumcari specifically, but maybe you can live in a town that nobody in New York City's ever heard of, and you could still have like a great meaningful life with beautiful people around and cool scenery and adventures, and like it can still mean something. You don't have to be a YouTube influencer, you don't have to go to the Volume Zero party. You might have a cool river in your town, an old historic bar, and like a couple of old stories kicking around town, and some old veteran, you know what I mean? Like these places almost every town in America that's got even a little bit of history kind of has this beautiful quality to it and human quality to it. And I mean, this is all wrapped around praise for what you do and praise for Rainbow Road. That's the direction I think. And that's one direction. I'm rambling here, but that's like one direction we can take things. Like, throw away the phone, or at least put it in a drawer, and like just go to the shitty bar down the street and see if you can get to know that bartender, and, shoot pool on that table, and maybe go to the library, go to the fucking barbershop, go to the crappy diner that you drive past 100 times on your way to the nice restaurant or whatever. Check these things out because they exist all around you for sure.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I love, like, that's why I just hate sitting still, because it's like, if you have those kind of eyes, all of these places are fascinating. There's very few. Every now and then, like we were in like Sioux Falls, and I was like, man, this is like a brand new like tech city. Like this city sucks.
Right.
There are places like that feel like it's an incubator for like the new AI data center or something. But most of the places that are old and have been forgotten are like that. Like and if you have those kind of eyes to go to the old diner, or you are really interested in the architecture of the old gas station, like you can have fun anywhere. That's why I always say this, man, and I've said it already on this podcast. I do not understand the way people vacation. Like the American road trip is the greatest. We're so good. When I went to Ireland, before I went to Ireland, I was like, America sucks. Like I want to move to Europe, and then I was in Ireland for a month, and then I was like thinking about the other times I've been in Europe, and I was like, you know what? Europe sucks. Like, what kind of person who would live here? Like, you go to the grocery store, there's like 3 things. Gas is so expensive. Everything's regulated and taxed so badly you can afford maybe a car. Here we have cops. Our cops live in McMansions. They have 5 cars. Like, over there, yeah. Like, we're so lucky and spoiled and fucking stupid and allowed to be stupid here. We're so lucky.
Yeah. In most places in the United States, you could pick a direction and just drive in that direction for a day straight and end up in what might as well be a different country. Like, I had a friend who was really, he was in Peace Corps and he taught English overseas and stuff like that. And he'd been to, I don't even remember, some number of countries that if I say it, it's going to sound like an exaggeration. And then he moved back to the United States and started traveling around the United States. And, not that he like wished he hadn't done all this other travel, but he was like, yeah, man, I guess I didn't really realize. I just thought of America as like this one thing and that I'd already seen it. And it was like,
exactly.
I'd only been to like 4 states. Like, I hadn't seen it. Yeah. That's super true. Yeah.
Yeah.
As an American, you owe it to yourself to drive like a good chunk of the country at least once. From wherever you are to the furthest coast, you should totally do that and then drive back.
I like that.
Yeah.
No, you should.
Sure.
It really baffles me. It's like I've never been to the Badlands. I've been to the Alps in 3 different countries. I've never been to the Badlands. How stupid is that? Right. Why?
The Badlands are sweet too. The Badlands are fucking awesome. Yeah.
And we have this thing in America, which I don't never feel in Europe, which is like an impending doom, or like the genocide happened here. Like, but all like the millions of years of Indian spirits, and then the French people coming, the fur traders coming. It's just the layers of America are amazing. You go to Missouri, all of a sudden, town names are in French. You're like, why is this town name in French? That's weird. Yeah. And then you find out, it's like, the French were sailing down this river 200 years before America was even a thought. Like,
crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah.
No, there's stuff like that all the place. There's like a whole, people know about Memphis, but like, there's a whole bunch of cities in that part of the world that are named after Egyptian cities because there was like an Egypt craze in like 1820. So everybody who settled the city named it after some historical city in Egypt. And it's just weird. Yeah, there's weird little quirks. Crazy. Yeah, and Memphis is the one city that's like big, but there's like 6 of them. It's just that's just like to further your point. There are all these weird little quirks of American history that we do. I think it is easy for us to get the sense that like, no, history is something that happens in Europe, sort of. And it's like, and it's not. It happens here too. It is shorter, but it kind of even isn't because of all the native stuff that we barely even understand. Also, I think there's something in America I've felt that, I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but I haven't felt it in other countries, but I've felt it from time to time in America. And I think it's because America is so cool and like abundant and stuff, where every once in a while I get this feeling that not just the doom of the past, but I get the feeling that the jig is up. Like, oh shit, maybe it's all over. Whereas like Europe, the places I've been in Europe, they feel like that's how they've been. That's how they are, and this is pretty much how they're going to be forever. But yeah, you can go to a city in the United States and you're like, this could just like blow up at any second. At any second, the bottom could fall out of this, and like Disney World could be a ruin overnight. I don't know. There's something kind of, again, I don't know if that's a good thing, but there is like...
No, but that's why I feel like it would be so stupid to live in this time and not be born and live in America. Like, can you imagine living during the Roman Empire and not being in Rome? Like, what?
Right.
It's like, this is the only thing we're the only thing that matters. Like, what our fuck ups, our achievements, our pop culture. This is the only thing that matters in like the last 100 years since World War I. Essentially, like, this is who cares if you're from fucking Canada or Argentina? Like, what?
Right.
What difference does that make? It's irrelevant. Like, you know?
Right. That's awesome. Yeah. And we see this like with like the World Cup and stuff like that happening, and all these accounts of people
nobody
coming.
gives a shit.
That's right. Yeah, nobody's paying. There's like 17 people that are paying attention. But
they're all here and they're like, oh my God, Rand's dressing. Right. Oh my God. Yeah.
And,
like
Buc-ee's. Yeah.
And we're so far beyond
refills.
that.
Yeah.
And we're so far beyond that, we don't even know the World Cup is happening. I don't even know it's not even on my radar. Not one person I've talked to in the last 2 weeks has been like, did you see this game? Like,
No.
Yeah,
no, it was on TV. It was on TV at a bar I was at last week, and I was just like, cool.
Soccer.
That's it.
Good for you guys. Yeah.
Well, as we kind of wind down here, so you got your release party is what, this Thursday?
The Thursday the 25th, so 2 days, yeah.
Tuesday. Oh, wow. All right. Where's that at?
Yeah.
Do you want to say?
No, yeah. It's at a bar in West Long Branch, New Jersey. It's called the My Way Cafe. We're gonna mob it out. We got bands. We got like 8 Raiders, all killing it.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be a punk rock show, man. It's at this bar is shitty as hell. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Anything goes. Punk rock band, bunch of cool readers. I got awesome. Pizza coming. Everybody's gonna get pizza. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I wish I was gonna be there, man. That sounds like a blast.
I wish you were here too,
sounds like
bro.
a blast. Yeah, man. You got some other stuff coming up. Don't you have you've got an art show exhibition coming up in Bell, Missouri? Is that am I remembering this right? I had it written down here, now I can't find it.
Yeah, so
what's up with that?
So my book is out now, but it officially releases on Thursday. Then we have the Connecticut release next week on the 3rd of July.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully that's amazing. I think it's going to be. Then I have a show with my friend Kyle Corey and David Simmons, who you know.
Yeah.
July 18th, I think, in Connecticut. So that should be sick. And then my bass player and I head to Missouri. I have a reading August 1st in Bell. I have a music show August 2nd, and then hanging my paintings August 3rd. In August in Bell, Missouri. And then we come to Detroit September 5th, and then I'm in Chicago for Printers Row.
Hell
then
yeah.
I have to figure out the rest of my life after that. Then no more cell phone, so that's it.
No more cell. Yeah, that's gonna make it hard. That's gonna be hard. Make it a little bit trickier, but that'll make it worth it. No, dude, that's exciting. I mean, this is one of the things I love about you. One among many things is like, I feel like you're a guy out there actually making things happen. Like you got this book release party. It's not just I'm showing up at a place and I'm going to read a book and we're going to stand around and pat each other on the back. We're going to have a punk rock band. We're going to make it a party. Pizza's coming. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. So
yeah,
someone's going to have to pick up the Scott. If you're stepping away from the game, somebody's going to have to pick up the mantle of Scott Laudati. I don't know who else can do it.
I just feel like I've said enough about what I had to say. Like, that's kind of like, I feel like I've mined every inch of my life. Like, I wrote a novel that I still think is pretty good. I've written a lot of essays. Thank you. 3 books of poetry. Like, I've just never gotten lucky. Like, I just have no luck. And I feel like, how many words do you need from me? Like, I've given enough words. Like, am I just going to flood everybody's social media forever with new words? Like, it's enough. I did it. I said enough. Like, if you don't like me or haven't read it, then I feel like that's where it's going to be. It's plateaued. So all I can do now is film these towns I go to and keep making YouTube videos.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, I love those too. So it's not that that's all good.
And it kind of does the same thing that I was like a journalism major in college, and because I wanted to be a journalist, and I kind of feel like what I used to do with writing, and I'm like accepting the inevitable that writing's over. Like some people our age will read or whatever, but it's over. It's over. Like it makes me really sad because it's what I spent every second of my life doing for a long time. But I know it's over. So what I can do, I feel like with these YouTube videos, is the same thing I was trying to do with writing. Like I can still put my writing into the video. I give my perspective. And that's the Best I can do, man. But like a lot of people have been amazing, and this book is sold. Rainbow Road has been selling really well, better than any of my other books. Yeah, in the pre-order, and yeah, and like I love like everybody's been super nice and super supportive and amazing, and I don't know. I feel like this thing I was fighting for this whole time, where I feel like everybody was really mean to me and ignoring me or shutting me out. I feel like everybody has been amazing. It makes me almost want to cry. Like I really feel like I actually did accomplish something, and it's nice. Yeah.
Well, dude, I mean, I don't know what accomplishing something even means, but you wrote a hell of a book. I'll say that. So you should be proud. You should be proud of this thing, and I hope people pick it up. And I'm glad to hear that people are buying it. That's awesome, man. So you done a hell of a thing, and you know, I can't wait to see you read live. That's going to happen before the year is out. I'm super stoked about that, and getting to hang out with you. That's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
And people, if you're listening, and one of Scott's readings is anywhere near you, go check it out. Put down the phone for an hour or two, maybe even. You might have to GPS to get to the place. I get it, but but you know, get there, put the phone behind, have a piece of pizza, have a beer, and live in the real world for a minute. I think we all could use that a little bit. So with that, Scott, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, man. And people, get Rainbow Road. I'm telling you.
All right, I love you, Brett. Thanks a lot, man.
See you, man.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard about Willie the Weeper? Had a job as a chimney sweeper. He had the dope habit and he had his bad. Listen while I tell you about a dream he had. He went down to the dope shop one Saturday night. He knew the lights would all be burning bright. Well, I guess he smoked a dozen pills or more. When he woke up, he was on a foreign shore. The Queen of Sheba was the first he met. She called him lovey-dovey and honey pet. She gave him a great big automobile with a diamond headlight and a golden wheel. Down in Honolulu, Willie fell in a trance, seeing the dusky beauties do the hula dance. His sweetie got in jail and Willie sure did shout when he got the news that she had wiggled out. He landed with a splash in the river Nile, riding on a sea-going crocodile. He winked at Cleopatra, she said, ain't he a sight? He said, how about a date for next Saturday night? He had 1,000,000 cattle and he had 1,000,000 sheep, had 1,000,000 vessels on the ocean deep, had $1,000,000 all in nickels and dimes. Well, he knew because he counted it 1,000 times. He landed in New York one evening late. He asked his sugar for an after date. Started to kiss her and she started to pout when bang, bang, and the door gave